It's 2025 and it's more popular than it is not to be against the TIAQ plus community. They may still be more outspoken than us, but I think we can all agree the consensus at the maybe 66% mark believe there's a biological difference between men and women. Now, it's impossible to change a lot of liberals' minds when they are already made up, but yes, some people still believe that men and women biologically are not different. Even though it's pretty obvious, having different levels of testosterone, estrogen, and parts of the brain like the amygdala, hippocampus, and prefrontal cortex not only create difference physically but also mentally and emotionally, and that's not all to a female's disadvantage. Women tend to be better at verbal fluency, reading facial expressions, and emotional memory. They're also less likely to take physical and financial risks, and of course that does play into their career path and why the gender pay gap does not exist. But still, I didn't even touch the physical side of things. There are still liberals that want to act like men can fill women roles at the wave of a wand, or even compete in female sports, depending on how the person feels. But at the end of the day, are you identifying your way to pregnancy, or are you identifying your way to a more feminine thought, which you can already have without trying to make any physical changes that haven't been studied enough and will likely lead to an early cancer diagnosis? But anyways, this clip of Dr. Phil basically annihilates the whole idea that men and women are not different physically. And I'll try to show the parts. However, if I show the whole thing, this whole AI detection always copyrights me, which is a total scam. But he basically goes into the functional differences between men and women, including grip strength, quad strength, all the way up to punch power, which we have a whopping 162% advantage to females. Then he goes into swim races, and we are beating females by multiple seconds, 11.5 seconds to be exact for a 200-meter swim, a race where women compete to win by fractions of a second. Is it transphobic of us to say that this is unacceptable? Let's hear what the ultimate DEI TIAQ plus member has to say about this.
When you look at those things, these are races that are usually determined by tenths or hundredths of a second. So how do you answer that, Blossom?
Absolutely. Respectfully, Dr. Phil, I'm going to need you to have several seats. Let's be clear. Trans women, again, are women. What you're showing me are male statistics, and trans women are not male.
And then it always goes back to the circular definition liberals give of what a woman actually is. The mere opinion of yourself does not dictate what the reality of yourself is, and doesn't dictate what others have to perceive about you.
Everything that I said can actually be proven. It's scientifically proven. Because again, it's almost like you're trying to call trans women men, and that is not what trans women are. Trans women work just as hard as cis women to compete. And when we talk about bone density levels, again, there are some women who are stronger and have faster agility than trans women.
I know exactly why Dr. Phil put Blossom on, because he knew Blossom would say the most ridiculous things. I think Blossom was in the Jubilee videos and always got voted out because Blossom was the worst debater of all time.
It sounds like conservative propaganda. And I think you have drunk the Kool-Aid and have gotten lost in the sauce. The statistics that you've shown me prove nothing when it comes to trans women. Get up there and show me statistics specifically with trans women and cis women, and then we can revisit this conversation.
Unfortunately for Blossom, if we got statistics of men taking gender hormone therapy medication for 2 years, let's say, all their previous training and physical leverages will still be prevalent because you still have to factor in lung capacity, heart size, lean muscle mass, and differences in skeletal structure, like men having narrower hips and broad shoulders. So we'd be glad to get right onto those statistics, or we could just come to our senses and we don't even need statistics to determine if a man transitioned, he'd still be at an advantage because of everything I listed. Like, why is this even a conversation?